What up, YouTube? This is the No Pigeon Podcast. We in a Dove Shack. Dove Shack, baby, Dove Shack.
Dove Shack, baby.
So we gonna react to some Alex Jones because
Alex who?
Alex Jones.
Alex who?
Alex Jones.
281-330-8004.
Start giving people numbers out here, man. You're gonna have to
Hit Alex Jones up on the low because Alex Jones about to blow.
You gonna get us canceled, bro? Dropping out numbers and shit.
Oh, that's Mike Jones' number.
Not no more. That was what, 20 years ago.
Man, I called that number when that shit was popping.
I respect that. So Alex Jones said on the Joe Rogan podcast that God don't know where he came from. We about to find out. We about to inspect this shit.
I agree. That's a logical statement to say.
We about
if
to
God doesn't exist, I mean, he doesn't. Like, okay.
You believe God exists, though, right?
I don't know about God necessarily as a term or monotheism in general, but I maybe say some sort of a higher power.
So just briefly, you jump in there, Eddie. Let me tell you what my deep research and basically vision is.
Okay.
And vision just means you're like things crystallize, epiphany. To talk about 12 dimensions, 11 known, 12 being omnipresent, so we don't say it actually exists. To say that is arrogant, so I won't say that.
But you just did.
But you just said it.
I hate when motherfuckers they hear new science and all of a sudden they take see.
He said there's 11 known dimensions.
I used to delve in that conspiracy realm very much. Very much.
Yeah.
But the thing is like a lot of this shit is like as soon as a scientist says some shit, it's not even sure. You know, they're not even sure about it. All of a sudden they got a whole this conspiracy theory wrapped around this this new thing that a scientist proposed. You know what I'm saying?
But I have had dreams my whole life that come true. And the weirdest thing, like a lady drops a thing of pickles at the store. For 5 years I have the dream, and then one day I'm there and it's the woman in the pickles break. Or I walk around a corner.
When was this?
Particularly when I was a kid, it was more intense.
That is fucking crazy. So for 5 years you had the same dream, and then one day it happened?
I love Joe Rogan.
I love Joe Rogan. Do you see what Joe's doing? He's kind of checking him, but he's trying to make him expound on it. You know what I'm saying? But he's really trying to catch him in a flaw in the shit he's saying.
That's why I love Joe Rogan. Because like, I mean, if someone talks some bullshit, he'll be like, he says it differently to different people and be like, no, you can't say that. Or like, that's dumb. Or like, if he did it nice to him, oh, really? What? Really? Expound on that.
Well, I've been his buddy since like 97, 98.
Yeah,
right?
that's his boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it exactly how you dreamt it?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes.
For about 6 months I had a dream of a guy in a purple and green striped shirt.
So for y'all that don't know, I know a motherfucker like him. I'm not going to name his name. I know a motherfucker just like Alex Jones' personality and the shit that come out of his mouth. You know what I mean? And he's like an idiot savant. He says some really intelligent shit sometimes. But then sometimes it's like, motherfucker, I know you. I know for a fact that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, so when I see that, I see that guy. You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
Okay, yeah, I see a little bit of it in there.
And I'm like, why am I walking? Because it's not like normal dreams. It's like you're been taken over. You always get vomit after
Lucid, like a lucid dream.
Lucid dream. And I'm walking around, like, why am I behind a building? And all of a sudden, there's some dude in a purple and green striped shirt, and he attacks me. And 6 months later,
That's because you went to bed drunk, motherfucker. I get the motherfuckers trying to kill me dreams all the time.
Really?
That's what, especially when I go to bed drunk.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying? It's your cortisol spiking in your sleep. So now you're stressed out, you know? And you're stressed out. You're trying to explain the stress in your sleep in a nightmare form, and motherfuckers are trying to kill you because why else would you be stressed out, right?
I don't get them dreams at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, shout out to low cortisol levels.
I guess so. Hey, man.
it happens. And I mean, it happens exactly. So
what do you think is going on? All thoughts of yourself aside, just look at it objectively. What do you think that is?
you could say that it's human programming and basic programming.
Look at it objectively.
And what do you think? You could say. So it's like,
look at it objectively. You could say that it's human programming and
Programming in the brain.
Do you think you're tapping into a timeline that maybe you can't access all the time?
Well, that's what I know it is. I was trying to be.
That's what I know it is.
One of the reasons why you can rant and rave, and when you spew out information the way you do, which is very impressive. The way you can talk about things,
For 3
and rant about
hours
things
straight,
and get
6
excited
hours
about
straight.
things. You do the majority of your programs entirely by yourself.
But
No
I
teleprompter.
agree with you. It's not like I'm telling you,
I
listen to
agree
this.
with you there.
You're doing something unusual. Do you
But that's
understand
it.
that?
I'm not even doing it. It's like a river's going by. There's a turtle. There's a fish. There's a little.
Oh yeah, God is speaking through you. You're just His vessel. Right?
It's revelations and
Alex,
premonitions.
Alex, you just His vessel. God speaking through you. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing you're saying sounds like any kind of sci-fi related anything that's been written before. It's all brand new, right? Okay.
Log. That's why it's like random. Like, what is this? What is that exactly?
Right, but that's how you communicate. That's like in the beginning of the thing we were talking about Sandy Hook. I kept trying to slow you down. I was like, I'm not following you down this river. You just hit this one rock. I want to talk about this rock. I want to talk about the next rock. But you just keep going. The way you think about things is you're chaining one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. And for people who are not thinking the way you're thinking, it can be exhausting.
Right.
Like you're trying to follow
Well, sure. It
what
doesn't
you're
even mean
saying.
I'm right about it all. I'm only seeing the code.
But I'm wondering, because of the fact you're telling me that you had these dreams that came true exactly the way you dreamt them. I know you're not full of shit. You're not a liar. I've known you for a long time. If that really did happen to you, if this is your real life experience, I want to know what the fuck that is. Are you on the periphery? Do you have your finger on a membrane that maybe other people can't totally
Little piece of
touch?
food.
Where occasionally, just occasionally, you get a little peek through and you get to see the other side. Even if it's only once or twice in your life. Who's to say that what you're experiencing by being able to see these things that manifest themselves realistically in the future, that this isn't what human beings will have 5 years from now or 100 years from now?
Well, sure, exactly.
Right?
We think of like a cell phone being magic on ours.
We think we're all the same. That's the thing. We think we're all the same, but we're not all the same. We're not all the same in our ability to talk. You can talk for a lot longer about a
talk
lot
better
of
than I
different
do.
things than I do. Eddie Bravo could talk about jiu-jitsu better than both of us, and he's a musician. So
Says the guy on the podcast. You can talk about a lot of things differently than I, more longer than I could.
But Joe Rogan never really does it by himself. At least I never heard one.
I'm sure his earlier podcast he's doing.
Might have had some. I know he was talking with Red Band back then.
You can't have a podcast and not be able to talk.
Right? Yeah, but ever since I've been listening to him, it's just he just does how guests, you know?
But he's interacting with these guests. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Ed's a stand-up comedian. So he can talk by himself. He can entertain by himself,
because-
for sure.
exactly, right?
But not like
you,
Alex
you and I
Jones.
both suck at music, right? So there's certain things that people can do that you can't
Well, let
do.
me try to describe it. All right, and they'll use this against me, but notice they don't touch it because it's their whole
So when
religion.
he squints his eyes, he's like,
You know what?
let me try to describe it in the most humble way
Let me
possible.
tell you this, brother. I tell you right now, Alex Jones would have been an amazing professional wrestler.
Why you gotta say professional wrestler? You can't just say wrestler.
No, because wrestlers is like Olympic wrestling.
So professional wrestlers aren't
Yeah,
Olympic wrestlers because they're not professionals.
I mean, some of them have transitioned from being an actual
Don't
wrestler.
use the word transition on this podcast.
Anyways, they have evolved, I guess, or just changed from being actual like Olympic wrestlers to professional wrestlers. Could you say professional wrestlers? Because it's like professional wrestling is like sports entertainment. It's not real
I mean, I can see
Olympic wrestling.
I can see Alex Jones throwing in a brother once in a while.
Oh,
you
hell
know?
yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying, dude?
And they can't stand that I'm talking about it. By the time I was like 3 years old, I would have this dream that God has. Because God knows everything.
Wait, by the time I was 3 years old.
I was having this dream that God has.
So when you, I mean, having like memories from when you're 3 years old is like kind of
I do.
unique too. But like, I mean, that.
I have memories from 3 years
But
old.
you remember this dream specifically that you've been having since you were 3 years old, like that.
I had like this like out of body experience type thing when
you
I
were
was
3?
When I was 3, right?
and you still remember it.
I might have been 2.
So you're
2
Alex
now.
Jones.
No. But I genuinely did have it.
You know something, brother?
No, I asked my dad about it. It was something that happened to me though, right?
Oh,
But the thing was, it was like a traumatic injury, right? But like my memory of it was a bird's eye view going up, right? My memory wasn't like in body memory, like me remembering experiencing everything around me. It was me looking at myself from the ground on the beach, right?
goddamn.
Yeah. And I didn't know what the fuck it was, so I asked my dad one day, and he told me, yeah, you had an injury, you know what I'm saying? In Kenya, right? I had an injury in Kenya on the
classic
beach,
Kenya.
right?
East Africa, let me tell you, brother.
Well, anyways, let's go.
Everything is just super intelligent, omnipresent, unlimited dimensions, but God doesn't know where God came from. So just like we're trying to find out where we came from, God is like a virtual reality simulation as well. And God is constantly running every program, every
Is
operation.
that his dream, or is that what he's saying matter of factly?
I'm glad that he, number one, believes in God as a monotheistic presence, but also knows that this is how God thinks. Man, this guy's pretty smart.
He just has these premonitions, right? He has these premonitions, and it's just like, whoa.
Oh my God!
But don't get it twisted. Don't think because I'm joking on Alex Jones right now that I don't agree with some of the shit he says. Because that shit when they said that, him talking about turning frogs day,
turning the freaking frogs day.
There's some truth behind that, right? There was a Berkeley scientist named Tyrone Hayes, and he was hired to investigate the what happened when he mixed atrazine B with the frogs that he would dissect, right? And he found, they were actually morphing into opposite genders and so forth. And when he discovered it, they told him to shut the shit down, and he exposed it. That's an actual thing from a liberal scientist. I don't know if he's a liberal, but he got a ponytail and he got an earring, so I think he's a liberal. And he's at Berkeley, right?
Yeah, no, Berkeley, guaranteed.
Yeah, I think
guaranteed. No,
you know
guaranteed. Berkeley's like the number one most leftist, progressive, liberal place in the fucking world.
So I double down. A liberal professor. Let's go.
Turning evil loose, good loose, everything. So I would have these dreams, but the earliest memories, like 2-3 years old, where I would fly out to the edge of infinity.
Oh, of course.
And
to infinity.
Seems logical.
And
it was a continual message. Find out where we came from, find out what it is. And it would just be this big, giant, spinning black vortex, like a black hole. And then I would have to go into that, trying to figure out what was going on, and it was the same thing.
And you don't think any of this stuff was influenced by you as a kid watching a lot of sci-fi and shit like that? Because I had nightmares that were influenced by remember the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum?
Okay, yeah.
So when I was like, this is in Toronto, and I was like maybe 5 or 6, and I kept telling my brother, you remember the time Dad like ripped our nails out, and then we had to wait for them to grow back? And he's like, what? I don't remember that. I'm like, yeah. My dad was out there making some kind of Somali sandwiches, whatever the fuck.
Oh, Somali sandwiches.
There was a sandwich. He would always do an East African mix on some shit, right? We had like some French buns and he with some like bell peppers and shit like that. He made some kind of sandwich out of shit, right? But he said, tell Dad. My dad's like, what? I tell him the story and he's like, what the fuck? That never happened, right? And then maybe 25 years later, I'm watching The Fly again.
And it happened in that.
Motherfucker's nails started like peeling off. And I was like, oh shit. Like it hit me like.
That's the thing. Like the way the human mind works and memory works, like people remember shit very differently than others. And like sometimes you remember shit that didn't actually happen.
They say when you sleep, when you dream, it's your brain trying to decrypt problems in your life, right? Or just like decrypt stuff in your life, right? So you have different things coming together, and it just your brain is sitting there just trying to like figure things out.
And again, I'm saying probably every dream is probably different. Like, and we don't really fucking know. You know what I mean? What dreams are really about? Like, I mean,
wet dreams are about some pussy.
What if you swing the other way?
You ever seen that? Robin Williams porno? Wet Dreams May Come.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see Robin Williams porno.
Oh, you missing out, brother. You missing out.
And so it's this incredible frustration. So then growing up and dealing with things and questioning politics and questioning all these other areas and having dreams that come true exactly and like knowing what's going to happen before it happens and then questioning it and then it never being wrong. Be like weird, not bright, like crazy stuff, man. Like just so much stuff.
He doesn't remind you of Buddy when he's telling the stories and you're like, knowing him personally, you're like, this motherfucker. Lying.
No, the way that he talks about it's like he knows that this is true and this is a fact.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
That's what it reminds me of, Buddy.
Yeah, but the problem for me is like saying certain things happen as a child or this and that or experiences or dreams, and then you speaking on them like in a factual. You know, I mean, you're saying it in a factual way, like this is fact.
Yeah, that's what I have a problem with.
Yeah, like me, I'd be like, I don't know. I'll tell you, like I do the same shit. Like I'll tell you stories and I can talk for days.
Or I heard about this new theory or new thing just because like we were talking to homie the other day and he was like, no, this is how the pyramid is built. It's been proven. It's a fact. And we're like,
I'm like, no.
Well, no.
No, it's not a fact.
No, it's not. Well, it's a new theory. Okay, so why are you coming with the authoritative view that this is a fact when you know it's actually just a new theory?
Right.
Like,
but let's go.
Where it becomes like you can't even deal with it, you like dial it out, and then you just reach that point where you don't even know what's real anymore because it's so crazy. But then you see like the mathematics of the whole system and you know how it works. It's not like you're some schizophrenic. You talk about it, you deal with it, and it actually works. Like now when you fight the system, you automatically.
It's not like you're some schizophrenic.
That made me think of like
It's not like you're seeing shit that's not there.
that scene in I think it's like The Hangover where what's his name with the beard Zach Galifianakis is like, then there's like some genius mathematic work as he's thinking in the background and equations. Yeah, Jesus, Alex. Yeah, okay.
Automatically know what to do. Like when you talk about something the president word for word repeats, Trump, this is what freaks him out. Word for word, whole speeches, like whole things. And I'm on a power trip. That's what they flipped out about at the CIA and everywhere else. And they're like, well, Jones is like connected to Trump. And I think Trump's like an idiot savant.
What does that have to do with
You're
the
an
speech?
idiot savant.
Projection much? Trump is like an idiot savant and like.
Oh my God.
But remember I put you onto that word, idiot savant?
Yes.
You're like, what's an idiot savant? And I told you. Like,
Buddy.
let's go.
Explain that. Trump speech? I'm trying to follow you.
I don't even know.
That's the thing.
even
It's
know.
hard to follow you sometimes.
Because
we were talking about God.
You were talking
This
about
all came
Trump's
before
speech
that.
abilities?
Well, even before that, he was talking about God.
Yeah, that's what we
Okay,
did.
so God knows everything except where God came from.
How do you
That's a
figure
good
that? How do you
soundbite
know
right
that?
there.
Do you think that
How can
God
you say that?
is just like every other system that we see? Like, think of this. There's no one.
God is the most advanced
There's no one
AI.
bird. There's no one bird that's running all the birds. There's no one person that's running all the people. It's all chaos. Even if we elect someone, if half the fucking people hate them, everybody's in chaos. They're trying constant power struggle.
Are you
It's
still
almost
on
like, do you think that God
Trump
is
still good?
decentralized? Do you think that the idea of God is decentralized? That maybe God is a real thing, but God's not one person. God is literally.
God is open source. God is an open source software where other beings were just like developing him. And
How about this?
why do they call him God if he was created?
Well, I mean, that's the thing that I think Alex Jones is trying to say is that like God knows everything except for how he or it itself was created. That's what he's trying to say.
But in the beginning, there was nothing.
In the beginning, there was light.
I truly believe.
No, that's the beginning. So wait, what was before the beginning? Before the light?
I believe.
That's what I'm saying.
I believe in. Again, I use the word believe,
Yeah.
but I believe somewhat in the theory of it's like a cycle. I forgot the term for it, but there's like a cycle where we just like the universe implodes and then explodes. It's a big bang, and then
Right.
it goes out, expands, then it comes back in, and then implodes again. You know what I mean? Boom.
Well, and I mean, there's just so much shit because like
I believe this is just ongoing, like just for cycles and cycles and cycles.
So what
and
I'm saying,
cycles.
what I was thinking about just now that I never thought of before is like, let's say, because he said God's the most advanced AI. So imagine this. How about like, let's say, whatever in the past, we already had this kind of same existence that humans are kind of experiencing right now, and they got so advanced to where they could create, an AI that's so intelligent that like, maybe this whole existence is just a fucking simulation or a creation of that shit. That almost seems more logical than like some mystical God doesn't know how it was created.
I'm
kind
not
of shit.
against. I'm not completely against assimilation theory, right? Because we do have these weird thoughts and ideas, and it's like this weird, like, oh shit, I remember this,
and
whatever.
deja vu and
Deja
like him
vu.
talking about these dreams kind of shit. Like
Yeah, but again, I'm not gonna say that as like it's just solid fact because I
no,
don't know.
hell
I don't
no.
know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like just thinking about it now, like I would think that that's more like logically, explainable than just saying some mystical force that just created everything
But
from magic.
like theoretical physicists having a mathematical equation that explains things, it's cool. Yeah, it could explain things and it could be true, but then also there's other ways to get to the same route or different routes, right? There's
Like
you can have a mathematical
three
equation.
3 plus 2 is 5, but 4 plus 1 is also 5.
Yeah, but like
That's what I'm saying, right?
But like, yeah, you can have,
have two different ways to get
not
to the same
necessarily. I'm
spot.
talking about the destination may be different, right? So
Oh,
there
okay.
could be a completely there could be a mathematical equation that explains something totally different. And that could explain our history and our existence, right? And how many theoreticals physicists have made different equations that had different explanations, right?
And that's what I'm saying. And I appreciate thoughts like that. But when people talk from like a spot of like, they know that this is what it is, that's what cheeses me. Like, don't say like you know this shit for a fact when no one can really know that shit for a fact.
God doesn't know where he comes from.
Oh yeah.
For a motherfucker like
did
me,
you talk to God, Alex Jones?
for a motherfucker like me that doesn't even believe in God,
Oh man.
where does that put me? You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in God. I believe God is a creation of man, because God evolved from sun worship, right? And
Or moon worship.
we humanized,
Right?
we anthropomorphized God, right? We personified God. So the sun, right? So seeing that evolution of religion and monotheism or polytheism, right? It's like now we're trying to rationalize and justify our evolutionary thought, our thought that we created.
It's just a weird thing about humans. We just want to like have stuff to believe in that makes sense, so we can be at ease about that, so we can continue on with our fucking regular day-to-day
It's like how we created cars. We created cars, right, with 4 wheels and this and that, right? And then those cars evolved, and they stay having 4 wheels. And you go back and you're like, okay, cool. We know what a car is, and it has to have 4 wheels because that's what a car is, right?
It's not a motorcycle.
But what if they invented it differently?
I mean, they have though. We got 2 wheels. We got 3
but I'm
wheels.
talking about like you know what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Like I get your point, but like, yeah. Anyways, let's go.
God is
all
free
of the
will.
organisms. God is not just free will. God is consciousness. It's all the organisms. It's every fucking technological innovation.
No, I think God
It's
is
all
intelligent.
How do you know that too?
No, but you know what I've been hearing lately a lot? For some reason, they keep popping on my feed and everything. What if God is water? Because God, then it's like, it's in you, it's all around you.
What I do know is God
Like,
is
okay.
God is a girl.
No, God is a black female.
What if God is
God is a black female, brother. I hate to break it to you.
What if God was one of us?
What if God was just a slob like one of us? Jesus.
the things.
No, I agree with you. And that's
Is-
not some new age thing. New age is a counterfeit, Joe. I
Is
agree
it
with
counterfeit?
you. No, I'm saying a counterfeit of what's real.
Oh.
Because they'll
As
say,
is
oh,
no
God
look
is
pouring up a
everything.
drink.
But it's true.
You see that as he's no look pouring up a drink, grabbing the ice, staring Joe in the face. But
Hold up, I need some more of my Jesus juice.
listen, I might be a little bit drunk, but listen, man, I'll tell you right now, God doesn't even know where it came from, man.
Yeah. You know the religious people, they say never to speak about religion and God drunk.
That's
That
what
was
they
like,
say.
That was like an old thing.
That must be a Muslim thing because I never heard that.
Nah, I think that was a biblical thing.
I never heard that in
I
any
don't know.
Christianity.
It's something Abrahamic. It's something Abrahamic, but they said never to speak about God while you inebriated, right? Because you're gonna talk out your motherfucking ass. But guess what, y'all? Motherfuckers be doing that sober.
But I feel like the concept of God and all that shit kind of and the advancement of the human species kind of came from mushrooms in the first place too. You know what I mean? Like,
You can't say that because the Earth is only 2,000 years old.
I mean, depends who you talk to, brother. Dinosaurs are a hoax. And God put those there just to test us.
The devil put those there to test us because, believe it or not, the devil's also a creator somehow.
Well, I mean, you can't have dark without the light, right?
Darkwing Duck of the what?
Let's get dangerous.
God is experiencing consciousness through all of us. There's
You know,
no,
when Mike, where I have a hard time saying that I know this, I could say God
exactly.
might be
Can't say I
decentralized. I
know
could say
this.
God might just be just like every other organism on the planet. It's just something that's moving in a certain direction, trying to protect itself and trying to procreate and trying to advance and trying to innovate and trying to be better than it was yesterday. That's what everything is doing. Every fucking animal that started out as a single-celled organism is trying to
Except-
survive. The
Except
reason-
they didn't create themselves.
well, it's
So-
not necessarily that it didn't create itself, but something created it slowly
Yes.
but surely.
Well, let's say this.
through the
Let me
process
boil
of
it down.
evolution and
Let me boil it
mutation.
down, brother.
This is the we can keep going. I want to keep going for hours. We should do an epic podcast, but the point is, we should not give up.
Let's
The
don't
point-
give up.
The point
we
is,
should not give up.
But the point
there is a pro-human future,
So
and a
there's 2 points.
pro-free will future, and the globalists are an
globalists.
anti-human, anti-free will future. So all I know is to swim towards the light.
This
And
is
so
a
I'm
good
for
point.
a pro-human future.
You know what? I agree. I agree with him on that. The globalists are anti-human, right?
The Great Reset.
No, but like, look at all these agendas that are pushing right now. They're very anti-human.
Anti-West.
Western, or are you talking
Yeah.
about Kanye West?
Well, both.
Okay.
Both.
You know, well, one thing I grasped, one thing I learned from all of this is that Alex Jones is God.
I mean, no, we're all God.
No, but Alex Jones is the prophet.
I thought Kanye was.
They both. There's multiple prophets in the Bible, brother.
You know what I mean? Hey, amen to that.
You know who's Satan?
Trump.
Don Lemon. Don Lemon.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. You know, Tucker Carlson is actually Satan.
I love Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
man.
shouts out to Tucker.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the Nation of Islam, I love a dude with a suit and a bow tie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just the natural evolution. The pale skin,
Hey, man.
Yakubian, Tucker Carlson. You know, you ever heard of Yakub?
With a J?
He created
With a J?
No, it was with a Y.
Oh, okay, shit.
He created the white man.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God.
It
Thank
was
God.
actually a laboratory experiment.
Oh, thanks, Yakubian.
Before they had laboratories, it was a laboratory experiment.
Sick. Yeah.
And
thanks.
we all gonna get picked up from the mothership one day,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, black man is God then.
Hey man, I didn't want to say it out loud because they gotta learn on their own.
Hey, man.
But the black cat is God.
Shut up.
The black cat is God, bro.
No.
Now get the fuck out of here. We ain't got nothing for you. Go.
Well, guys,
Spin another one. No, hold up.
I thought we was peace.
You gotta tell them like and subscribe, man.
Man, they already know like and subscribe.
They better motherfucker. Hey,
Bitch-ass
listen,
motherfuckers.
bitch-ass mother-
You gotta look right in the eyes as you see that shit.
Sorry, we trying to learn how to look at the camera, but it's very awkward. We see ourselves on the third screen. We look at ourselves because it's human narcissism.
No, I'm staring at the. Yeah, I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers not liking and subscribing and commenting down below and hitting the bell with the notifications so you don't mix the next shit.
Oh yeah, brother. Bye.